Terrible.
Get out the insurance cards, get out the copays. The office is open, my friends. Brought to you by drroto.com.
Hey there, everybody, it's Dr. Roto. Get out the insurance cards, get out the copay. The office is open, my friends. To those of you who were affected by Hurricane Milton, I hope you guys are doing all right. I hope, obviously, if you're watching this, you have your power and your internet back, but hopefully everybody's being very safe out there. Speaking of friends, I got two of my good friends there. We got the Willie Walls. I mean, I think they repoed your cool apartment, your cool piano and stuff. I don't know what happened to you, deadbeat. And the great Swame Odell blocker. No fatigue. I don't even recognize you guys anymore. 1 week, I don't even know who I'm with.
We're going back to old school. It's old school time. We're going back to the boots with stepping and back to old. This is the old school where we're going to be Grammy because we're going to have a couple of Grammy games we're going to talk about.
There are some Grammy games, Swami. You like this slate? The slate is really interesting to me, Swami. There's a lot of different ways we can go here.
And that's what I like about the slate. Again, it's always about staying the course, Doc. As you know, weathering the storm. That's what this week's about, right?
100,000%.
Week 6, right? It's a lot of, I think, interesting games, and we're going to have some interesting picks.
All right. You want to break it down by position or by game? What do you guys want to do? You let me know.
Game.
I'm thinking about game, yeah. Game.
All right.
Important.
Tampa Bay, New Orleans. There's a man named Spencer Rattler who will be the quarterback. He is going to be at $4,000. He is going to be free. If you get him in your lineup, you can probably get Lamb and St. Brown and A.J. Brown and, any other, Buster Brown, Charlie Brown, any other Brown you want in there. Willie, are you willing to take a shot on Rattler?
Maybe in a lineup or two, but because of all this other value that just came to our feet, I don't think you don't need to go there because I'm gonna be playing a lot of Tampa's defense against this dude. So Rattler he is interesting, but I think there's some other ways that we could get creative in this slate, and I like the running back value that just opened up, in a couple of games. So I'll be having less of Mr. Rattler, So
right,
I'll let
before we break this game down more, will you have Rattler or you fade him?
I will have him in out of 20 lineups. I'll have him in one.
Really
interesting. Is what I'm saying.
What about you, Swami?
I'm leaning towards fading. We've taken some chances, I think, at quarterback this year, and normally, Doc, you and I, the folks are saying, "Hey, he's worth a shot." He's supposed to have an arm talent. He loves to go deep. We watched some film on him this week. It seemed like he benefited a lot from his receivers, to include Leggett, who's now in Carolina. I'm a little bit concerned. Right now, that Tampa Bay defense has 10 sacks over the last 2 games. Seems like they're getting after the quarterback. They're putting pressure. That's a bad combination for a rookie in his first start.
All right, Willie, let's get back to this game. For New Orleans, Kamara is going to cost a lot, but Rattler may have to go to him. You have Shaheed, who I know you always like. On the other side, you've got Chris Godwin, who always feasts. Bucky Irving is going to start because it looks like Rashid White is very doubtful. You got Mike Evans with Lattimore. You got Kate Ott, and you got a lot of options here. Are you going to opt into any of these options?
Only one that I don't have most of is Mr. Irvin, Bucky. I have a lot of Bucky Irvin. The rest of them, I like it. I like guys in the other game that we're gonna talk about. And I'm not taking Mike Evans against Lattimore. Man, that's a feud. Not only no, but hell no, I'm not gonna have no Mike Evans because a lot of times that dude shuts Mike Evans down. So no, thank you. I will go where there's less resistance, and I am not going to play him. Godwin is a man of interest, but like I said, I got other stuff in other games that I like, so I'm not going to be getting a lot to this Tampa New Orleans game. And but in the beginning of the week, now before all this value open up, Kamara was because one thing is he's going to do a lot of dump downs to Kamara. So Kamara, I can still see it, but I like other guys and other price points that I like a lot better.
Swami, do you like guys in this game? Because I can say a couple of things here. Look, Rattler can run, which Derek Carr can't. He's mobile. He's not the fastest dude, but he's mobile. But could he also throw the ball to Kamara 8 times, and Kamara goes like 8 for 57, maybe gets another 40 yards rushing, and you look at a 19-point Kamara week?
Doc, not just no, but hell no. This feels like I want to be. It's a character from a movie called Beverly Hills Cop. There's a guy named Inspector Todd. I feel like Inspector Todd right here. This stinks, Foley. This stinks to high hell. Nothing about this game feels good. I don't necessarily like the matchups. I don't necessarily like the prices, including Bucky Irvin's price. It's one thing if we would have been getting him around 4,500, but he's not there. Why? Because he's been involved in creeping up. I don't think I like any of these pieces at all in this game. And for me, I'll stick with the Tampa defense, and I'll let you guys have the rest.
I'm not going to play Irving, not because I don't like him. I think he's going to be too highly owned. And I want to pivot in that price range. Maybe it's a Madison, maybe it's a Gibson. I'll be 3 or 4% owned and not at 30% owned because I think Bucky Irving is going to get steamed. Can you live with Godwin, Willie, or do you think he's too expensive?
I'm not, like I said, the only one I'm interested in Irvin, and the reason I'm interested in Irvin, he's going to get all of it. And this guy's a talented guy, and that's what I'm saying. And it's not going to be as what you think because there are other running back plays that people can play. This slate is very diversified. It's very diversified. So listen, Irvin at that price point, he's a man of interest. That guy's going to get a lot of the touches.
I totally disagree. He's on the road in New Orleans. They play tough there. I don't like it.
New Orleans you can run on. What did Kansas City do? What did Kansas City do the other day?
Nothing.
Well, Kareem Hunt.
Nothing.
He was good. He was good.
Okay.
I mean, are you talking about at 54? That's what I'm saying. At 5,400.
But it's not the 5,400. It's the 28% owned.
In the 9.
Yeah, but I just don't think that it's going to be as high as you think it's going to be. But I don't care. Listen, a guy that's going to get it all because if Rashad White was like that, we've been playing Rashad White. This guy has some juice.
Give me some numbers. 100 yards, 2 touchdowns. Give me some numbers.
No,
let's say Bucky Irving gets 18 fantasy points. Pretty good day, right? He's going to be 30% owned. Do I want 18 points at 30%?
I'm gonna eat this hat if he get 18 points. I don't think he's got 9.
Yeah, you might be eating that hat then.
He's at 9 points.
Bon appetit.
You're gonna learn something about
Bon appetit. Bon appetit.
Learn something about the Saints defense this week. Watch.
Bon appetit. Yeah.
He's a fade for me. He's a fade for me.
Because see, this is the reason. I think it's going to be a lot of short fields. And see, that's what I'm looking at. When you got short fields, dude, if you like Tampa's defense, you should like Bucky Irvin. They go together. Are you playing Tampa's defense?
Yes.
Okay. They go together.
And
the running back and the defense go together.
And so does the field goal kicker, who I love.
Yeah.
All right. Does Mike Evans get ejected? Something stupid could happen there. Something stupid could definitely happen. All right. Let's talk about Arizona against Green Bay. Arizona played so far over its head last week. I still think they have nosebleeds. I can't even believe what I saw. But now they're going to Green Bay. Jordan Love is going to rock and roll against the Arizona zone defense. But here's my question, Swami. Love has a lot of options. A, Jaden Reed kills zone defenses. B, Romeo Dobbs. Do you have to feed this guy because he was so pissed off he wasn't even in the game last week? Josh Jacobs is still there. Tucker Kraft is now like the best tight end in the league. Do you like this game? And if you do, where do you want to go with it?
I think I do like this game, Doc. And I think it's a lot to like about the pieces. And sometimes when you like the pieces, especially, and I'm talking about on the Arizona side, I think Connor's a man of interest. At some point, McBride's going to have to show up. I think Marvin Harrison has a good matchup. Even Wilson could be in a decent spot, which means Murray's in play. If that's true, then this game will have some back and forth because I think Love and Kraft has got something going. I think Reed is his guy. Jacobs and probably Wilson are going to be a little bit involved. This game is going to have some back and forth. And if they get it in the end zone, now this is the kind of game that I have some points, unlike that last game. You want pieces here.
Willie, my only problem with this game is I feel like Green Bay is going to score 30. I just don't know where it's coming from. Arizona, I know it's going to be Connor. I don't like Harrison at all. Michael Wilson, I can make an argument for. I like McBride a lot, but I just don't know on Green Bay. Is it Jacobs? Is it Reed? Is it Kraft? Is it Dobbs? Who is it?
Yeah, listen, I'm not a big. I mean, this game is gonna do it, but I just think that because of the other value that has dropped, that I'm going to be looking elsewhere. And I agree. I mean, because Jacobs, you could play him. Connor's one of my favorites, but unfortunately, because of some stuff that came out there, that I'm playing Bijan Robinson at the same price. I'm going to Bijan. I'm not going to get to a lot of Connor. I'm just saying. Sometimes
Doc very humbly asked you, "Hey, do you guys want to talk plays or you want to talk game?" You jumped in there. Game. He mentioned games in the first 2 games. You go.
But the first 2 games, I'm telling you. But I'm telling you, I'm just not going to be.
Don't tell me the other things. Tell me about this game.
Tell us about this game.
Well, I mean, listen. I mean, Connor's always a man of play. You can play, but I'm not playing a lot of. But he's a man of interest. Jacobs, you could play. I mean, I don't like to play the Green Bay receivers because I don't know who's going to get the damn ball.
That was exactly my point.
Connor's almost a lock for me, and if Kraft is healthy, I really like him. If he's healthy, I really like him. But Connor's almost a lock for me.
All right, I'm going to get a little crazy with you here. I'm going to talk about Indianapolis, Tennessee. Trevor and I were texting today, and Trevor said, "Is it crazy to be in on Will Levis this week?" And I don't think it's crazy. Just hear me out. Indianapolis, not good. Not good.
Terrible.
Will Levis, 4,800. Levis to Ridley, Levis to Hopkins. Look, and if you play that, you're getting leverage on the Tony Pollard ownership, which is going to be 25 to 30%. Swami, if I'm doing 3 lineups, is this my one crazy lineup to roll with?
It'll be my one crazy one, because there's some good crazy. And here's what I mean. The Colts have been letting everybody have their way. They just open up the candy shop and say, come on in. So why not? Guess what? Tennessee's struggling. It's a lot of reasons that they need a game like this to maybe get something going. I'm sure I'm talking about Levis is hearing his receivers chirp a little bit saying, "Hey man, give me the ball. I didn't come here for this." So they're looking to get involved. Even though this is a great matchup for Pollard, I think it still opens it up for them. And if we can get something out of Richardson, I was all over this game until I saw that Joker showed up to practice. Richardson, forgive me. We love you here, buddy. It's just if it was Flacco, I just had a little bit more confidence. Then if Pittman became doubtful, now he practiced. He might be playing. I just need these jokers to come out and score some points this week and get the game going in that way and not come out and where we see 2-3 field goals as the first point scored.
By the way, Willie, before I ask you about this game, how is Michael Pittman going to play? Anthony Richardson's going to get this dude killed. If his back is already hurting him, jumping 18 feet in the air to catch him an Anthony Richardson pass can't be a good thing. All right, Willie, do you like this game at all?
Because if my man Flacco was playing, I would love this game. But because he's not playing, I can't trust that bastard. I can't trust him to get the targets. It's a not only no, but hell no.
What about Tennessee side? What about Pollard? What about Ridley? What about Hopkins?
Pollard is in play. He's in play. He's a man of interest. And I think, everybody's talking about, but I think Ridley is the guy that if I had to look at somebody in this game, he would be a play. Because what do the Colts give up? The deep pass, the deep balls. And that's what really does. So if I had to play a person in this game, I would be definitely interested in Mr. Ridley.
I am not playing Tony Pollard at 26% owned. I'm not doing it. I mean, that to me is an easy fade. I know he's a good play. I'm happy to play him in seasonal, but in DFS, I don't want 25%. Thank you.
Willie laughed at me last week when I said Mr. Pierce. I think Mr. Pierce is in play here again this week.
He is. What if Pittman plays, Swami?
I think even with Pittman, I'm okay with Pierce, right? Just based on where he's at with his price. He was going to Pierce early in the season. If you remember those first couple of games, he loves if Richardson does anything, he can let it go. He can let it go. And Pierce seems like he's the guy that can catch a big one.
Let me ask you a quick question, guys. Tennessee's run defense is actually pretty good. Is a naked Anthony Richardson in play?
He'll be naked, and I won't be playing his naked ass. That's all I gotta say.
Pause.
But he could have a big day. He could have a big. Is it possible that he could run for 2 touchdowns without Jonathan Taylor there?
That is possible, Doc.
Tennessee's defense is pretty good.
But
Y'all showed the Tennessee's defense.
But
They're pretty
I
good.
think if he comes back and you said in the red zone, is it possible that he could that he could call his own number and get it in there? I think so. I don't like it though.
All right, let's talk about Cleveland against Philadelphia. Philadelphia is at full strength. Hurts, Saquon, A.J. Brown, Devonta Smith, Dallas Goedert. But even though Cleveland has not been good on offense, defensively, they've been okay. Is this the A.J. Brown week? Is this a Hurts week? Is this a Barkley week? Willie, are they too expensive or are you interested?
The only one I would have interest in is in Mr. Barkley. That's it. I just think for the price points of where they are, in Cleveland, they listen, they stink. Cleveland stinks, man. I mean, if anybody, man, please, nobody play nobody for Cleveland. As long as that massage man is back there, as long as the massage man is back there, you cannot play them. You cannot play them. No. I cannot play. I can't listen. They stink, and I watched them play against the Commanders. They truly stink.
So, what do you do with Philadelphia? Do you want to? Because you're paying full price for Barkley, you're paying a lot for AJ Brown. You're paying up.
I'm not playing them.
Nobody. There's nobody on Philadelphia.
If I had to take a lineup, like if I'm going to do something different, I want to pay it back. The only one I will be interested in is Barkley. I'm not paying up for him.
Swami, you paying up for any of the Eagles here?
I don't think I want to pay for anybody other than Barkley. If I had to, I would say maybe Devonta Smith. I think he could be interested in this game. The concern is, do you think Cleveland can finally do anything? So
no.
I'm not mad at maybe playing Barkley and taking a shot on Cooper again, because other than bad luck and some bad calls, Cooper's been like right there. But other than that, I don't know if I would want too much in this game because we just don't know if we're going to get out of Cleveland.
Swami, let me go back to Cooper for a second. Cleveland, Philadelphia does play a lot of man. They do play a lot of man coverage. Amari Cooper rips a man coverage apart, rips it apart. Could this be a play? Let me ask you this: 3 for 73 and a touchdown. If I get the 16 points, is that worth it for 6,200?
No.
It is. If you're saying 3 for 62 and a touch, I'm saying that will be closer to an average game for him. I think this game could be more like a 8 for 95 and a touchdown.
All right. So if I get 8 for 95 and a touchdown, is 23? Then for 23 points, it's worth it.
I think so. That's what I mean. It's a few more catches in there this week against Philly because presumably they're going to be playing from behind. Jerome Ford is missing. Have you driven a Ford late? We haven't seen this guy. He on milk carton. So you figure they're going to have to throw the ball, and at some point maybe Watson gets his closes his eyes, and I don't know, the stars align. He's awful.
All right, let's get to the next game here. The Texans against the Patriots. Now, before we rule this game out entirely, Joe Mixon is going to be back. Joe Mixon is practicing. He is going to play. Is he going to be criminally underowned because nobody wants to play Joe Mixon when you could play Barkley and you could play all these other guys? Is Diggs in play, Willie? Is Tank Dell in play? Is Dalton Schultz in play? Can you find? And then on the other side, Drake May's super cheap. Antonio Gibson's going to start because Stevenson's out. Do you like anything here, Willie?
I mean, Dell, I don't like his price at 6,200. They priced him up. I don't like his price, but this game is a block to me. The only one the guy that got an interest in is Antonio Gibson. Is Antonio Gibson. I think, it's a rookie quarterback. What is he going to do? He's going to dump the ball off to Gibson, and at that price point, he is worth it, So that's one of the guys that I'm going to be having some shots at is Mr. Gibson. He's a guy of interest for me. But other than that, I mean, Drake May. Listen, I'm not going to be too interested. And honestly, Houston. I mean, when we're mixing back, I mean, I listen. I'm gonna tell you something. Nico Collins, y'all don't realize how good Nico Collins is. It's a difference. It's a difference when you don't have the guy to take off that top, man. I'm telling you, that dude is and what we said at the beginning of the year that Nico was going to be the man. He is the man, So I'm interested in Gibson, but other than that, that's all I got for you.
So I mean, strategically, I would say at least 30% of a tournament is going to have Irving and Gibson. And it makes sense. You want cheaper guys so that you can get more expensive guys elsewhere. Would you rather pay up for running backs, or are you okay just eating the chalk with Irving and Gibson and sucking it up?
Doc, I can't be, because obviously I won't have any. I play Betsy Gibson, I play Veronica Gibson, I play Roderick Gibson, just some of the Gibsons I played before I play this Gibson. I won't have him in one lineup. If I had 150 lineups, he wouldn't make a lineup.
Really? Even with a rookie quarterback?
Yeah, primarily because, just like I said last week, it's some guy who they just wanted to get his attention. Remember I had that conversation, Doc? And then they proceeded to get him into the game, and he proceeded to look like the running back that he is expected to look like, and he got most of the work, and he did most of the production. And so I think it's going to be the same thing that happened this week. Is he's still the guy. Gibson isn't the guy yet. Gibson is doing very little, and I'm not expecting to do much. So no Gibson for me. Now, as far as Mixon, I am interested in Mixon. I think they're going to lean on, if he's healthy, they're going to lean on him a little bit more in this game. You've seen you're able to have some success against New England when you can throw the ball, and I think the same way that the Texans kind of use their running backs and get them involved, and they make sure that they get them a certain amount of touches. It seemed like they would lean on him a little bit in this game, and I think that's the reason why he's a man of interest. But I don't know if I like anything else at those prices.
All right, let's get to a big game here, Swami. You are wearing the jersey. The Commanders against the Ravens. The Swamis versus the Wallses. The internal battle. I don't even know what uniform to wear. If I go to the game, am I wearing half burgundy and half purple? I don't know. I've got my buddies here. I don't even know who to root for here, Willie Walls. This game could be the slate breaker. This could be the slate breaker with two teams whose defenses are not great. What are you doing in this game?
I am definitely interested in both quarterbacks. Let me tell you something. On throws of 10 to 19 yards, I got this from Rich, from Sharp Analysis. Lamar is 24-37 with 3 touchdowns and 441 yards. That's elite. That's number 2 in the league. And guess who gives up that amount, the 28th in the league, giving up those type of passes? The Commanders. So that goes against it. You got Mr. Henry, just knocking people over, and guess how many yards the Commanders give up? 5.28 per carry.
Willie, let me ask you a question. You mentioned Henry. I don't mean to interrupt you, but a question. Henry disappointed last week. Nobody's going to want to play him. Is this the week to play him?
I think that I'm going to have some. Because of the value, I'm not going to have a lot of him, but I'm going to sprinkle him in. If I'm not playing Lamar or something like that, I think he's worth it, because I think on this one, I think they're going to be playing from ahead. You got to understand, the reason he didn't get the time last week, they fell behind, and they were behind all one. That's why Justice Hill got all those snaps, 24 snaps. That's why he got it, because they were behind. But this time they're going to be going ahead. And I'm going to tell you, this Lamar Henry combination is just a tough combination to beat. But I also like on the other side, Terry McLaurin has been very interesting. What have the Ravens been doing? They're number 31st against the pass, against receivers. And McLaurin could have had a huge game. You remember he had a 66-yard that he got tackled at the 1-yard line. I don't know if you remember, if you saw that. And Jayden threw a dime to him in the end zone, and he dropped that too. So what I'm saying is, I think he's a man of interest. I think that I think on the other side, I think JD is in play too. And the reason being is I think Robinson is going to be out. Okay. So I think that he will be, do more running towards the goal line, and I think he's going to be behind. I think he's going to be passing. So I think JD is a man of interest. And listen, I mean, this is the point blank thing. Listen, Lamar is the man, but I'm telling you, JD is the real deal. I'm gonna tell you that he's the real deal. But I think the Ravens are going to beat him by 14 points. I mean, if you look at last year, what did the Ravens do against teams in the NFC? They smashed them. They smashed Detroit. You remember that? They smashed Detroit when Detroit was good, and they also smashed Seattle. So when I'm saying to you, when you don't see Lamar, so even though, it's a difference because, listen, the Ravens defense see the man, the Daniels in practice all the time. So that's why I said I just think the Ravens are going to win by at least 14 points, but I'm hoping that the Commanders can keep it close.
All right, Swami, you are the Raven Whisperer. M&T, hard place to play, as Index of Suspicion is saying. Do you like Lamar? Do you like Henry, Zay Flowers, Isaiah Likely, Terry McLaurin, Austin Eckler, Jaden Daniels, Zach Ertz? Talk to me.
Doc, first thing, let me what cameraman on that?
2. You're on 1 earlier, but you lost your spot.
Yeah, bring it in camera 2. DC has a term, Doc. It's called Bama. It's a noun used to describe someone who is unfashionable, poor behavior, lacks style, taste, class. I won't say that fits Willie Walls' description, Doc, but when it comes to these doggone Commanders, he's a Bama. He's trying to be a little bit coy. He's trying to downplay it. We're pretty good. We're okay. He's trying to hide that excitement. But let's be honest, Doc. They're playing some good football. And if you're a Washington Commanders fan, you're excited right now. And you're looking forward to this game. You're looking forward to going up 95 or 295 a little bit. And you want to come out of there with a win. But here's the truth, Doc. The Ravens are pretty good. I know folks are down on the defense, but they held down Kansas City. It came down to a couple of plays. One blown coverage and a reverse to Worthy. They held down the Raiders, and it came down to some bad coaching. The list goes on and on. The Cowboys were wrapped up most of the game, and then you had one divisional game with a bunch of goofy stuff that happens once out of, I don't know, every 7 or 8 games we play them, it's going to look like that. Block that out your mind. This is going to be a good football game. It's going to be fun to watch. I think on first look, I want to say Danger mentioned playing maybe Lamar and Henry. I think that is an interesting kind of leverage play as well. I would agree with Danger. I think it's a lot to like about this game. People forget that last week Henry was snubbed inside the 5. Multiple times, first and goal, he didn't get a touch with 1 or 2 yards to go. If he even gets those touchdowns, if everything else stay the same and they handling the ball down there on the 1, you're talking about a 30-point fantasy game, and that would have been another 30-point fantasy game for Henry. A lot to like about Henry this game. I do agree with Walls with McLaurin. It feels like somebody else is going to emerge in this game for them. Maybe Ertz, maybe Eckler, but it feels like somebody else. I don't think Brian Robinson, you just can't run over the Ravens. You're going to have a little bit more wiggle than he's got. But I do like the quarterback a lot. And when you got a quarterback playing that well, they always got a chance. But I think the Ravens are going to probably rough them up.
I think I'm fading Daniels in DFS. Not that I don't like him. I love him. I just feel going to Baltimore, hard place to play. No Brian Robinson hurts because now he's going to have to do more, maybe take some more chances. Marlon Humphrey's there. Kyle Hamilton's there. Defense feels sneaky to me with Baltimore. But I do like that Lamar-Henry combo, which people don't like to have. But if you have those 2 guys, you could be looking at 60 points. You have 60 points from 2 guys. You're already like halfway to taking down a tournament. So I do like it.
Hey, don't forget it. Don't forget. And I'm gonna tell you 2 people that is very unsung in this game. Bateman is very unsung in this game, and Noah Brown is back, and that's what a lot of people don't know. Noah Brown is back, and he's a little interesting guy there. So I'm just throwing that out.
Noah Brown is back. Bateman, I gave you last week, Willie Walls.
I know. I'm just saying, but he's still
scoring.
He's underpriced though. For 4,100, he's on the price.
The Baltimore tight ends, look out for him this game.
I like Likely to this week. I do. I like him. All right. Let me ask you this question now. Next game here. And we could do this game maybe in 3 seconds or less. Chargers against Denver. Pass, right?
I like both defenses.
Sure. I do too. I like Ladd McConkey a little bit.
I do like Ladd a little bit, but I like both defenses for sure.
Let me ask a crazy question here. This is a crazy, crazy question. Can we play Kamani Vidal at all? with no Gus Edwards? Is it possible?
Doc, I like both defenses for sure.
Okay. All right. Listen, out there, go crazy on me. $10. Kamani Vidal, anytime touchdown. If it hits, I'm your friend, Dr. Ray. All right, next game. Las Vegas against Pittsburgh. This is another low-scoring game here, Willie. Justin Fields, does he have a real job with Russell Wilson healthy again? Najee Harris, George Pickens, a pain in the butt. There's a lot going on here on the other side. No Devontae Adams, Aiden O'Connell starting. This game just feels like a mess, Willie.
Listen, especially with Russell Wilson now the number 2 quarterback, they can do like this. Come on over here. Russell, get in the game. No, thank you. No, thank you for the guys on here. Listen, I saw enough of Najee Harris. Okay. Najee Harris stinks. And Jalen Warren might be back, but he stinks. If he couldn't do it last man, get Najee Harris stinking ass out of here. He stinks. I am not playing him. I'd rather play Najee. That's the Jazz guy. Give me that Najee than Najee Harris. Man, I ain't no way I'm playing Najee Harris, man. No way.
By the way, you did say that Jalen Warren could be back. He practiced in full today, Willie. And Najee does stink. Is Jalen Warren sneaky?
Just no thank you on the whole thing. Like I said, they're going to be splitting carries. No thank you. But that's why I wouldn't, because people were talking about Najee Harris as a possible play earlier. But with Jalen Warren playing, I'm just leaving the whole situation alone.
Swame, Trey Tucker, 4,200. Brock Bowers, pretty good. Any love for those guys in this game?
Not a lot. The Steelers play pretty tough. Again, they somewhere around almost double-digit fantasy points on the defense for the season. They've been pretty consistent, kept them in games. That's the reason I don't think they'll need to do much in this Raiders game. So there's no reason to maybe make a change at quarterback during this game because they should control the game. Even on the road, I don't see the Raiders being able to move the ball consistently on that defense. And all Fields got to do is not turn the ball over and allow that field goal kicker to kick the 5 field goals he's going to get this week. They get on back to Pittsburgh 4-2. And I think they'll probably play it safe. The last thing you want to do is kind of you're still in first place. Technically, they're tied with the Ravens, my Ravens, but they'll have an opportunity, I think, to get out of this game, not make any big waves. Because if you have a misstep, you go out here and lose the game. Wilson looks bad. Now you don't have this thing that you can turn to if you feel like you get in trouble. So I don't think they're going to pull their doomsday device just yet. I think they're going to hold it up down.
All right, guys, let's get to the 2 best games on this, arguably 2 of the better games in the slate. First, let's save the best for last, but let's get to Atlanta and Carolina. Willie, I know you're chomping at the bit to play Bijan Robinson. You and everybody else. But Tyler Algier has looked good. Kirk Cousins has looked good. Drake London does see J.C. Horn, but he's looked good. Darnell Mooney's looked good. Even Kyle Pitts, woke up out of a slumber and looked good last week. On the other side, Chuba Hubbard, Deontay Johnson, Andy Dalton. There's a lot to like in this game. Are you going to have pieces? Are you going to game stack it? What are you thinking?
Pieces. I mean, the one that's going to be a lock button for me is going to be Bijan. I'm going all in on Bijan this week. If he can't do it this week, then I'm done with that bastard. They going against the Panthers. They stink. They got Clowney is out. I mean, listen, Bijan is 15 months pregnant. I think he's going to drop a big one. A key thing that what a lot of people don't know is they're getting their lineman back. His name is Katel McGarry or something like the McClary, for Atlanta. When he plays, Bijan almost averages 5 yards a game. He was averaging 2.4 without him, but he's back this week. And I'm just telling you, everybody's down on him. And that's why I hope everybody continue to say, hey, he never gets there. You know what? This is the time for Bijan to stand up. Stand up. I love Bijan, and I also think Drake London has been balling. I like London and Bijan. That's who I like. But I'm gonna tell you a guy that I like that's kind of sneaky. That if I'm not playing that tight end for the Dallas game, and I got to plug this up so I don't lose it.
Tavion.
Tavion. Tavion ran 30 routes.
Tavion, yeah.
Yeah, he's very talented. He disappointed the last time. I think this might be the time where he might do something. So if I'm not playing that the chalky tight end that will be in most lineups for Dallas, I'll be playing Tavion. But Bijan is my guy.
Swame, could Bijan run for 60 yards? Just work with me here. It's 1st and 10 on the 30. Bijan runs for 60 yards. Now they got to take him out. They bring in Tyler Algier. He gets through the line. He gets the touchdown. Is that possible? Or are we all in on Bijan? Are we all in on Atlanta?
I've been going back and forth all week. We keep, again, holding out hope for these guys and going, this week is going to be this week. And maybe that's not a bad thing. Thanks for you to join us, Walls. Go ahead and take a seat there. Stop interrupting my response here, right? Still, thank you. So, for some reason, Doc, we keep holding out hope on some guys, and we keep saying this week is going to be the week. He had 7 carries 2 weeks ago. He had, I think, 12 carries last week. It sounds like it's not if Walls is holding out hope. The coaches aren't holding out hope, right? The game plan isn't holding out hope. So it's just not working that way. The big plays are coming from Mooney. They're coming from London. Like you said, Pitts was involved. You look up on the goal line, he's coming out. He's sitting over by the coaches. How are you going to have a big game that way, Doc? If you can explain to me how you can have a big game standing over by the coaches, looking up at the Jumbotron, I can get behind Bijan.
But Willie's not wrong. This should be a game where Bijan breaks through. If there was ever a Bijan week, this should be the Bijan week.
And I hope everybody thinks like you. And that's what I'm going on. I'm just saying the guy's a talented guy. Listen, Carolina, they give it up to everyone. And I'm just telling you, this is the time that Bijan could shine. And everybody else got off but him. So that's why I think it's him. Everybody going to be going back to the same well, and it's not going to happen the same way it happened before. And I think if they give him 1 or 2 touchdowns, they're going to continue to feed this dude. And I'm just saying, this is the time. This is the time that for Bijan to finally get there.
I wish he was a coach. I wish he was an agent, something. Unfortunately, as much as Willie want to wish and hope, he's not a part of the staff. He's not able to get them guys into the game. He's just not in the game. I'm seeing him too many times on the sideline, Doc.
But at his price point at $6,600, this is the time.
They're begging me to take him, Willie. They're begging me to take him. And let me ask you this. How is Bijan going to be about 30% owned? Bucky's going to be 30% owned?
It's going to be less than that because of all this other value. Because some people are going to be playing Henry. Some people are going.
Nobody's playing Henry. Nobody's playing Henry.
Yes,
Henry
they are. Oh, hell yeah, they are. Are you kidding me?
Not when you have Bucky and Gibson and D. Bijan.
They're going to be playing Henry. They're going to play Henry. Some guy. I'm going to play a little Henry. What are you talking about?
And Pollard.
We can
Pollard. That's what I'm saying. Not everybody can be. I just want to play.
My projections right here have Henry at 6%. I will take Henry at 6% all day long.
I just want to say there's a lot of those guys around that 6,000 price range that are averaging about, I'm talking about on the season, they've got 1 touchdown on the season. Those are the guys I like to avoid, though. They cost too much for that.
Right. Right. You're paying full price for mediocrity.
For 1 touchdown through 5 weeks. It's too much.
All right, let's get to the big game, the big kahuna, the game that I think we all want to have. Dallas and Detroit. Swame, let's talk leverage for a second. It feels like Montgomery or Gibbs is leverage, right? Because you want to have Amon-Ra St. Brown. You want to have even Sam Laporta, who started to play better. Jamison Williams is now there. You got Dak, you got Lamb, you got Ferguson, who I know Willie likes. I do too. Rico Dowdle even showed himself to be a player last week. This game is your oyster, my friend. What are you doing with it?
First, Rico Dowdle cost me money last week. Anyway, here's how I feel about this game. As much as I like it, it'll probably be behind the Ravens and Commanders game. It'll probably be my second favorite game to watch. I'll watch them both. I just feel like the prices here are so high. And every week we love a game or we fall in love with a game. and we like the pieces in the game. But this is one of those games where it just feel like every week I'm all in on one. I even played both running backs on the slate, and then they proceeded to kind of throw the ball. One touchdown here, spread out. Everybody's getting it. St. Brown isn't getting enough. It seemed like every time I got him, Williams is having a big game and a big play. Same thing on the other side. It's like Lamb's not getting there. He hasn't had 100 yards all season long. It's feel like it could be one of these playoff kind of games where it's a great game to watch, but I don't know if they hit these very high values that they got. So I'm cautious on this game. Let's see. I'll throw it back.
Willie, I know you're not cautious on this game.
Oh, hell no, I'm not. Hell no, I'm not. I mean, listen, and see, and this is going to be one of my leverage plays is Montgomery or Gibbs over the other guy. This is one of my leverage plays, and you'll see that for that $100 stack that we're talking about in this game. Listen, I love Dak. I love Dak in this game. This game fits him. Detroit is a pass funnel. They are a pass funnel. Listen, give Ferguson when I don't have that Jatavius Sanders. Ferguson is. I'm just playing him. I'm not even thinking about it. I'm playing and Lamb. Since we got the value, now I'm going to have some interest in Lamb too. I mean, but listen, and I've been talking to this guy all the time about Mr. Tolbert. I've been on Mr. Tolbert for weeks, and he proved that. Listen, he's another good play. But I got another guy for you that I will talk about to a little bit later. That may be a little less. That I think is kind of interesting. That's now.
I think I know the man you're thinking of. Is he a skinny man who runs very, very quickly?
Yes, sir. He runs quickly.
These value play. We're almost through the slate. That you're about to close the curtain in a minute. He's still talking about value play. Who is he talking about?
No. This guy's interesting, and I'll tell you why he's interesting. He is their third receiver with Cooks out, and if they're behind, this is a guy that Dak does throw to. So I think if you're game stacking this game, he's a guy that you might be interested in. His name is a little Cavante Turpin. Am I correct there, Mr. Willie Wall?
He said all this value. I got all this value.
Yeah. I'm just saying, no. I didn't say value in this game. I'm talking about I like this game because listen, these are two opposite teams. Because one thing I know what Detroit gonna do, they're gonna maul them. Because now this is the thing that I do know. Every team that played Detroit lost the next game because they're physical. This team is going to come, and we remember they lost to Dallas.
Who said that, Willie? Somebody said that. Was on the air on the radio.
Yeah. I think it was on first. They said that every team that has played Detroit has lost the next week.
Yeah,
because they are physical, and that's how Dan Campbell is, and that's why I think that everybody's going to the value running backs. That's why I think Gibbs and Montgomery are going to be under-owned. And what do you do against Dallas? What did Mr. Henry do against Dallas? You run the ball against them, and I guarantee you that they're going to run the ball.
Wait a minute. Is he saying the two running backs that everybody's going to is Bucky Irvin and Gibson? Is that the value you've been talking about all night?
Those are the value that people are going to be playing, sir. I'm telling you.
Let me say this, Willie. I think to play this game, you have to double stack it. You have to go all in on this game. You can't dip your toe in this game. You will lose. So I think you go, Dak, Lamb, Turpin, come back with Gibbs, Laporta. I mean, you throw it all. You throw the kitchen sink in this one. Do you agree with that, Swame?
Bingo. It's just like that Ravens and Bengals game, right? It's not just dipping your toe in it. You needed it all, and you hope it hit. It's the same thing here. But even last year, when they had when CeeDee Lamb had over 200 yards or something, the game was 20-19, right? With CeeDee Lamb having 44. It's not this game is going to be a more of a scrap. I think, especially if Dallas defense show up. If not, then Dallas going to get ran right out of the stadium. If they ain't going to be able to stop this running game, both backs are going to just bruise them, and they're going to push them all over the field.
But what is Dallas the king of? And
nothing this year. They look
no. You're not a king of garbage time. Okay, I don't care how it happens. Dak he's king garbage man. Okay, they always get there towards the end when they do it. So we don't care. Hey, look. What do you think will happen in the Indianapolis game? Your guy hit, but he hit at the end. You follow? So we don't care how it happens, as long as it happens. But what I'm saying is, I think this game, I'm definitely listen. I'm going to have that tight end in most of my lineups. Period. Anyway, but I'm going to have at least a receiver in this game that I'm going to have. I'm not going to have Montgomery and Gibbs in every lineup, but I'm going to have some shares of them, and they are going to be a great leverage play off of all the other chocolate that people are talking about.
Dak may be a must play if you're playing 3 lineups. Dak has to be in one of the 3, because if Dallas is winning, they're throwing. If Dallas is losing, they're throwing. There's no way that Dak is not throwing the football.
And besides that guy, for Seattle, that had that incredible flip under everything, that game that he had. Nobody runs on Detroit. You're throwing the ball. That's the key. So this is what Dallas is going to do. They're going to spread these guys out, and they're going to throw the ball, and you can't throw on Detroit. So I think this game but I think Detroit is they're going to try to maul them. I know what Detroit's trying to do. That's why I'm not interested in the pass catchers for Detroit. I'm damn sure interested in the running backs.
Swami, last word on this game?
Detroit's going to have to throw the ball, Doc. They're not going to just be able to just run them over like that. And it's going to have to come from somebody. I think Williams, St. Brown, one of those guys is going to have to be involved. You can look for 20 points from one of those guys.
All right. Willie Walls, I give you a crisp $100 bill. Who is the big stack?
I got two. All right, so shut your mouth. I got 2. Number 1, give me Dak. Give me Tolbert. Give me Ferguson. Okay, that's 1. I run it back with Montgomery. Okay. My second stack, the people that don't like, give me the Tavius Sanders. Give me Bijan and give me Drake London. That's my second stack.
Swami, is Willie winning anything with those stacks?
Doc, he is out of his mind this week. I hope he changes that by Sunday. No way. That is D.O.
Listen, everybody, listen. You know what I feel about the Ravens game, but I'm just giving you something that's a little different. Listen.
He said $100
because this.
Oh wait. By the way, wait. I forgot. I apologize. Cincinnati Giants, because you can play that on FanDuel.
Oh, I'm having at least 3 guys in that game. 3 guys in that
Burrow
game.
or Daniel Jones?
Both. I'm having both.
Chase.
But I also think that Brown is a lock for me on that slate. Brown for
Chase
Cincinnati.
Brown.
He's a lock for me. Also, I love Slayton. That's a great game for Slayton, going against those guys. And I think that Higgins, I think Higgins is a great play in this game.
Swami, you like this game? I forgot to mention this one because it's on the late slate. Do you like Tyrone Tracy? I know you like Tyrone.
So Singletary's out. Is that what you're telling me, or is he still?
We're not sure yet.
It's not good.
I think I got something interesting, and I got Slayton again. I don't really like the pricing over there, especially with them taking Chase up to 9,500. He's coming off of that week he had. A lot of people going to be going back to him. Doc, I don't even talk on this shit, but there's a lot of reasons why I would either go with somebody else in that offense. I don't care who it is, Higgins, Moss.
I said Higgins.
But I'm staying away from Chase, especially at 9,500. I do like the Giants pieces because I feel like you're getting better prices on it than maybe Higgins.
All right, let's get to your Swami stack. What are you doing, my friend?
So I think the Atlanta Falcons, I want to say maybe Drake London, Mooney. I'm talking full stack. Maybe come back with Deontay. That feels like that $100 stack. And if I wasn't on a stack like that, and I know how much you guys like the game, then I could see you going Ferguson, Lamb, and Dak, and coming back with St. Brown. But again, Doc, let's go a little bit deep. Let's peel this onion back a little bit more, right? I'm not gonna get them Willie Walls stacks. Here we go. How about we go something like this? Love, Connor, Harrison, and I'm thinking that other piece is Kraft. Get something a little bit crazy with our stack. It's still 4 pieces,
little crazy.
Mix the four pieces up a little bit.
A little crazy. I like it.
About that game, but they the kind of games I want to be in where we expect it to be some fireworks.
I like Dallas. I'm having Dallas on one of my three. Right now, and this can change until 3 a.m. Saturday, Lamar and Henry. I may be Lamar Henry and bring it back with somebody on Washington. I don't know who, but I like that. And I kind of do like the Will Levis, Calvin Ridley, get cheap there, maybe get a couple of cheap touchdowns, and then I'll figure out the rest of my lineup. All right, balls to the walls call from Willie Walls. What you got for me, my friend?
I got two of them. One is Cavante Turpin of the Dallas Cowboys. I like him. And I told you before, I talked about Jatavius Sanders of Carolina.
Swame says
he didn't even know where that guy played. That should tell you everything about that tight end. He couldn't tell you where he went to college. He couldn't tell you nothing about
University of Texas.
You knew that, Doc. And he was
a
tight end there. He's got great speed and great hands. He's a great talent, but where you get that from?
Don't worry about it. That's why it's my balls, sir. My balls. I put my balls on the table. You ain't doing nothing. I got Turpin on there, baby. You ain't doing nothing. Hey, Bijan haven't done this. Bijan haven't done that. God damn it. Put your balls on the table. Stand up. You in Atlanta. Stand up. And stop being timid. Stop being timid and put your balls on the table. That's what I'm doing. That's why it's big balls, Willie Walls.
Doc, clearly, Doc, happy hour started a little early for my good buddy. Y'all forgive him out there in TV land. It's been a long week, and clearly he started at the happy hour a little early. So I think I want to say, again, I'm hanging with Mr. Cooper. I think, again, and I'm not going to, this will be the last week, I think. But I feel like he, again, is in a good spot. I think folks are down on him still. I think folks do not, they don't believe in Deshaun Watson or any part of that offense. And so I feel like it's still something there. But if you say, hey, Swami, you kind of gave us that guy before. We want you to, give us something else. We need another play from you, Swami. I say, all right. And since we already talked about Slate, and I'm not going to take the cheap way out, I think that's something that Walls will do. And he always saying that he can't figure out who. So I'm going to give you my guy again. I like Mr. Pierce no matter who's at quarterback. No matter who's at quarterback.
Going to the well again. All right. I'm going to say I like Calvin Ridley. I can't get past Calvin Ridley against them. And my crazy play of the week, Jalen Polk. Think this dude can play. And we haven't seen it because Jacoby Brissett stinks. Yeah. Drake May can throw a football.
See, that's a balls to the walls call. I'm not mad at that. I'm almost ashamed now that you went with Polk. I think that's a decent play. But somebody I didn't mention, I'd be remiss because y'all said Calvin a couple of times. I think Mr. Hopkins is a man of interest. He seems like playing them a lot.
I like Hopkins too.
He's a man of interest.
You know what? If you even wanted to do the Levis double stack, I know that's insanity, but I don't hate it. I think this game could explode a little bit.
Right. And I'm also not mad going with your Polk play with DeMario Douglas. I think he is also somebody who could benefit from having a new quarterback.
And without Stevenson, they're going to have to throw. You're not giving the ball to Antonio Gibson 40 times. You're not doing that. You're going to have to throw the ball a little bit. All right. That's it. For Doc, Willie, and Swami, we wish you much luck in week 6. So what do we tell you? Be well and
take care.
Thanks for stopping by the office. Get your fantasy prescription by subscribing to the channel and checking out drroto.com. And until the next visit, be well and take care.